The Glock Model 42 is in 380 ACP. Introduced 2014 at SHOT Show. This was a long anticipated pistol in the Glock line. It is the smallest Glock pistol. A lot of people were hoping for a 9mm, but Glock went with the 380. There are some reasons for that, and I'm going to discuss that a little bit in length in a later video. But this video particularly is about the Glock 42. What are the advantages, disadvantages of this pistol when you're choosing other similar 380 designs? It has a 6-round capacity plus 1, 2 magazines. They are polymer, they're reinforced steel. Glock magazines are known for their reliability. Excellent quality. And on the back you have your round count. It is, of course, steel reinforced. We're going to check to make sure the gun is unloaded, and it is. It does feature a polymer frame, which is a proven design with Glock. All the controls are the same on the regular Glock pistol. You have your mag release in the same place, your slide stop, you have your takedown pin right here, and you have your safe action trigger. The magazines come out really easy, very nice. It is an enlarged Gen 4 style. And then of course the texturing on the grip itself. The small little squares that give it a really nice grippy feel. And with the small handgun, it's really nice to have that. Really, especially front and back. Does have the hump right here to give you a little more in the hand, and of course you can get your hand way up. This really gives you a very low bore axis, which is really going to help with felt recoil. The serrations are cut very nice as usual. The finish is Glock. It's just exceptional. The length of the pistol is just under 6 inches at 5.94 inches. The height is 4.13, so it's a really compact size. The slide itself is 0.94 inches, so it's under an inch in width. And the weight on it is 13.76 ounces, so it's a sub 14 ounce pistol in 380 ACP. The barrel length is 3 1/4 inches, and the trigger pull on this is purported at 5.5 pounds. But that is not what I got. In fact, it was more like 7.5 to 8 pounds. One of the things about that, we're going to go ahead and check the trigger pull, and I'm going to open it up a little bit. And to demonstrate the trigger pull, let's go ahead and make sure the gun is unloaded. You know, it's to press this bar. This is your safety bar right here. This bar has to be depressed. If any other place on the trigger is hit, it's just going to butt up against the frame, as you can see. But once you hit that little safety lever, you can pull the trigger. It's a smooth trigger, but it's definitely a little stout. Reset on the pistol is very quick. One of the things I like about this pistol is, of course, you bring it in as a little bit of some take up here, and then a dead stop. There's no over travel, and that's nice. I don't really mind this trigger pull. In fact, I'll probably do a small trigger job on this like I do typically. Once they come out with some disconnectors, which I haven't found any yet, I'll probably replace that as well and just smooth it out a little bit. Being a defensive pistol though, I don't mind a little bit heavier trigger pull. And really, it's not that bad. It just takes a little more definite force. Now, Glock's been making 380 pistols for a number of years. In fact, they make the Model 25 and the 28. The 25 is the same size, dimensions, even round capacity as the Model 19. And then the Model 28 carries 10 rounds, same capacity as the Model 26 subcompact. So you have a 380 with the same round count with the same size pistol. And that's one of the reasons why it's not really all that exciting here in the U.S. But because of BATF rules and regulations, especially it's almost a Saturday night special law, there were minimum requirements of size. And so Glock was able to overcome those restrictions by producing these right here in the USA, which they make a number of pistols down in Georgia, right outside of Atlanta. Right here on the slide, USA, and then we have a small state of Georgia on this side. One thing though that I do like about the Glock 42 over a lot of the other micro 380s is that this is very shootable. A lot of the smaller pistols, you have to have some range time, considerable range time, to be able to master those pistols. I just did a review on the LCP, and that's a perfect example. First few times I shot that gun, I did not like it, and it took me a while. Now I'm used to it, I like shooting it, I carry it. In fact, a lot of people ask me why I purchased the LCP first. And so here's the LCP compared to the Glock 42. And if you'll see, it's considerably smaller. The grip's smaller. I'm going to put the magazine in to give us more of a feel for the exact size. The magazine extends out farther. It's longer, quite a bit longer. One of the other things is the weight. The LCP is 9.5 ounces, while the Glock is 13.76 ounces. So you have a 4.25 ounce difference in weight with same capacity. But the huge advantage of the Glock is that it's a lot more shootable. And it is still easy to conceal. But I bought the LCP because I wanted something extremely small for deep cover, deep concealment. And that's the reason why I went with it. I'm glad I did, and I still am going to be carrying it. Now here we have the Glock 26, and this has been Glock's smallest pistol to date. We're going to go ahead and safety check. It is unloaded. We're going to take the 42 and put over it. As you can see, it's not a lot larger in length or in height, but the real difference is the width. It is considerably different, and really width is important with concealed carry. It makes it much more comfortable to carry. You are getting 10 rounds of 9mm in the 26. You're getting 6 rounds of 380 in the Model 42. Now weight is a huge consideration. The Model 42, as I've stated, is 13.76 ounces. The Glock 26 is 22.1 ounces. So you have about a 9-ounce difference between the two. That's pretty considerable. But again, you have the higher capacity and you have a better defense round with the 9mm. But there is definitely considerations. And one of the reasons why I have a number of different type firearms to suit the different things that I'm doing during the day or places that I'm going. Has the standard Glock sights with the half box with the dot in the front. These are the sights that I pretty much have on most of my Glock pistols. I get really good accuracy with them, and unless I'm going to change it to night sights, this is typically what I keep on my Glock pistols. And the accuracy shows. I was really surprised at the accuracy on this pistol. In fact, I was shooting at about 7 yards, HPR full metal jacket, and I was really surprised. .21 feet is really the self-defense range. That's what experts typically call for about 21 feet. So I think that's excellent for this type pistol, especially how small and lightweight it is. Because the controls are all the same on the Glock 42, but yet it's thinner, it can be a little different to get used to for manipulating those controls. Let's say the mag release. My hand down here tends to get in the way. With the Model 26, it's thicker and it backs it off. So it's one of the things you're going to have to consider when messing around with the gun to get used to it. Mag changes were a little bit difficult. If you can see, when I hit that button, it wants to rub on my hand, so I'm going to have to pull it out. And to get the hand out, you're starting to lose the grip. Slide manipulation is really simple, and of course the controls on the slide lock, no big deal. Even breaking the pistol down. As far as recoil, it's very little. I read a lot of things about how snappy the recoil was on this, but the flex in the polymer definitely helps. It not being a blowback design also helps. And of course the fact that all the controls and the grip and everything, even though much thinner, are still very Glock-like. And you know, I've shot a lot of Glocks. So I really think that this is one of the softest shooting 380s for its size and for its weight that I've ever shot. I have some larger 380s, especially some of the old style 380s, because, you know, like the PPK, which has a fixed blowback design, so the barrel's attached to the frame. To me, this is much softer shooting than the PPK. People get concerned sometimes about the safety. This is a safe action pistol, which means that you've got to really definitely try to pull this trigger for it to fire. But if you definitely mean to, that you're not going to miss it. That's one of the great things. It's not like it's got to be some kind of little trick. You get a hold of it, it's going to pull the trigger and fire. But there are also two other safeties in the pistol, especially for dropping it and things like that. It is impossible for this gun to go off without this trigger being pulled. You can drop it head on, you can drop it for as high as you want to. But there are blocks with the firing pin that are going to keep that are only deactivated by this safety. Now, one of the reasons why I waited for a while before I bought my Glock was when the Gen 4s came out, I had some issues with a Model 17. And they worked those bugs out. The Gen 4s are excellent pistols now. But with this pistol, my good friend Robbie Wheaton at Wheaton Arms had gotten a couple of these Glocks in. We could not get them to function. Even with Full Metal Jacket, we had some issues with Privy Partisan 380. It seemed to be underpowered when we were shooting it. Robbie is a gunsmith, and I mean, he really had a time getting them. So it really kind of turned me off from the Glock 42. To me, if a pistol is not reliable, if it doesn't function, then I don't want it. I mean, it's just a liability. So one of the things, though, that I've noticed is, and I've been reading and watching and shooting more of the Glock 42s, that they're just finicky on certain ammos. Now, I didn't go through, though, a whole array of testing because I'm planning to carry Full Metal Jacket in this pistol anyway, especially in the wintertime. 380, I really want penetration. That's just what I like. A lot of guys like to carry the hollow points. If you're going to carry hollow points in this pistol, you definitely need to put some rounds through it and to make sure that it functions. My good friend Hickok45 did a pretty extensive video on different ammos for the Glock 42, and it's very well worth watching if you're going to buy one of the 42s. For me personally, I'm going to stick with the Full Metal Jacket unless there's something that I can find that I really feel a lot of confidence in. We were shooting some HPR jacketed hollow point in the 380, and that was one of the rounds that was malfunctioning. Doesn't want to feed these HPR jacketed hollow points. That is a problem with a lot of hollow point rounds, self-defense rounds with these pistols. That's why it's very important to choose the right load for your pistol and then keep that in your pistol. Using the HPR Full Metal Jacket, this gun functioned flawlessly. I had zero malfunctions and probably shot about 300 rounds through this pistol. Disassembly of the pistol. Of course, we're going to remove the magazine, double check to make sure it's unloaded. You definitely need to do that because first thing you have to do is to pull the trigger. That disables the striker. Bring back the slide about 1/4 of an inch, pull these tabs down, and the slide comes right off. Take out your recoil spring. It is a captive double recoil spring, and then of course you have your standard barrel. This is a hexagonal barrel. One of the things on the larger framed Glocks, they use the octagonal. So there's 8. With the smaller pistols, they go with the hexagon. Frame is super lightweight. This will be very easy to clean. Of course, it's just the same as your standard Glock pistol. And then, your slide. There's always a little bit of copperish residue on the new Glocks when you get them. And this one's no different. And this is all you need to do for field strip. To reassemble, slide your barrel in, recoil spring, just making sure that it rests on this ledge of the barrel. Bring in your slide, bring it back, and you're done. Test for function, you're ready to go. Of course, I would be remiss to not mention the Glock box. It's a really nice plastic box. It comes with a lock. Of course, you get your extra magazine. There's a lot of paperwork in here. Just a great little box. I don't typically keep mine in the boxes, but just to mention for the review, this is a great little box. As far as price goes, typically you can find these for about $3.99. There's a lot of online sources, Bud's Gun Shop, Palmetto State Armory. I got this from Robbie Wheaton, and it was $3.99. That would give you a general idea. I think it retails for $4.49. So you may find it's according to what your area, how the prices go. But around the $400 range is really the fair price. And coming up, we're going to look at a lot of different subcompact little pistols in 9 and 380 and really some of the ins and outs, some of the advantages and disadvantages of these pistols. And so we'll be coming up with that video coming up soon. Also, check out the Instagram account at Such_00 and the Facebook page at Fun Gun Reviews Facebook page. I'll have the links down in the description below. We put a lot of information on there that we don't show on video, a lot of pictures and things that we're doing, upcoming events. So check it out. Glock Model 42 and 380 ACP, thumbs way up. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. One of the things that, and of course, being Glock, to me, this is much softer. To me, this is much. To me, softer. To me, this is much. To me, this is much softer shooting. Just like it's a regular review. Okay, now I'm not going to that yet. But, whoops.